If you've been interested in or thinking about creating a digital course in your law firm, today's video is for you. As lawyers, it's important that we think outside the box as far as how we deliver legal services to our clients. And as a solo, you're in a unique position to be able to do so, really at an advantage over like a mid-size or a large firm. And I'm talking specifically about creating courses, like online courses, to be able to serve the needs of your clients and doing so in a way that complements your law firm and helps, the clients. Because if you're a solo, there's only one of you, even if you have support staff or a paralegal or virtual assistant, like there's only one of you, and so your one-to-one legal services, like there's only so many clients you can serve, whereas there may be areas in your law firm where you can introduce a digital product to be able to serve the needs of clients who don't need a full-blown attorney but still need some legal guidance or consulting. And so for me and my law firm, what I had decided to do is creating a course for probate. So a big part of my practice is estate planning and probate. And there seems to be a number of situations I've encountered where maybe somebody didn't need a full-blown attorney for the entire probate, but they needed some guidance, some instruction, right? And so I think I have identified an area where I can fill a need by providing that legal guidance and help navigate them through probate without having to hire me one-on-one as an attorney. And so for those of you who are concerned about the RPCs and the ethics of it and the malpractice of it, I understand. I have looked into this. I've spoken with ethics counsel. I've reviewed my state. So I'm in Washington State, our RPCs and ethics opinions about delivering kind of these digital legal services or do-it-yourself legal services, and it can be done, and there is a way to do so, correctly, in a way that is in compliance with your RPCs and also fills the needs of our clients. And I think we're starting to see this more and more pop up around the country, where we're seeing other companies, Zoom Legal has been around for a while now, trust and wills. And so there's a number of these kind of hybrid products. And what I see as the issue with them in my estate planning practice is that maybe the will or the trust that they generate are valid documents, but the clients don't know what questions to ask. They don't know what they don't know, right? So yeah, they can fill out the blanks on, a will or a trust or a power of attorney, but when I've reviewed those, they haven't been accurate or correctly reflective of what the client wants or in compliance with state law. And so I feel that I can design a probate product that resolves that issue and helps navigate my clients through probate without having to hire me one-on-one, because I just don't have the capacity to take on all the probate cases that come to my office. So as it currently stands at my law firm, I will only accept the probate if I did the will. If I did the will, I'll do the probate. If I didn't do the will, they're getting referred out. And so I have a list of referral sources. But again, and there are a number of probates where they need an attorney from start to finish. But there's also a number of them where they probably don't, right? They're not complicated. They're simple estates. And so in Washington State, we do have options for smaller estates, under $100,000, no real estate. We have a small estate affidavit process. But for those probates where there is more than $100,000, but again, it's not complex, the heirs all agree, or maybe there's just one heir, the one adult child, right? So there's certain situations where I think I can fill that void in the legal needs market. And so, and we're seeing more and more of clients wanting to be able to do things themselves and, looking into their legal options before they've even had a consult with you, right? They've kind of looked online and, looked up, maybe the rules or the laws on it. And so there's, I think, is this need or hunger to be able for clients to be more involved. Again, not everyone, not all clients. This is not a good fit for everyone. This is not a good fit for every practice area. But I do think that there are areas where this is a good fit for. And so certain examples could be if you are a business attorney, maybe there are some areas of business law that you can create a digital product to help your small business owners, to provide them some guidance or instruction on the more simpler aspects of business law. For me, it's probate. That's what I'm navigating as far as building out my course. And I'm going to take you along as I build out the course. And I'll explain to you shortly kind of where I am in that process. Or maybe like if you do real estate work, like residential real estate, maybe landlord tenant options, right? And kind of navigating landlords or tenants like through the eviction process. And for landlords, what forms to issue, for your 7-day notices, 30-day notices, or for tenants, like how to respond to a notice, how to, So I think that if we really take a close look, there are opportunities where we can create this kind of hybrid product of almost like a legal coaching. And I've seen a number of attorneys actually doing legal coaching. And so I encourage you to look into this if you're interested in it, and if you might have a practice area where it would be a good fit for delivering services digitally and not the one-on-one representation. And it's going to allow you to expand and scale your practice, right? Because once I record this whole course, I'm going to do that one time. It's going to take a lot of my time to do it. But once I do it, it's on evergreen, right? For people to just, buy without me having to do something proactively for each sale going forward. So it's something to just for you to think about, especially if you're a solo and wanting to look into ways to grow your practice without having to increase the number of clients that you're taking on. Because again, you only have so much capacity as far as how many clients you can take on. Whether you're like me and you work about 25 hours a week in your law firm, or if you're working 40, 50 hours a week in your law firm, like you still have a limit, right? There's only so much capacity. There's only so many clients that you can take on. And this is a way to, again, serve the needs of the public in a way that delivers legal services by an attorney, but not one-on-one. So again, I think of it as kind of a hybrid between a full-blown, attorney and a do-it-yourself. It's somewhere in the middle there between those two and kind of marrying those together. And so if you are trying to think about kind of like, well, what topic can you do? Like, think about your clients and who is coming to you and what issues are they having? What are the smaller cases that you're turning away or referring out? Or what are things that you are finding that are maybe simpler that a client can do themselves if they just had some support or guidance from an attorney? Like, again, not all practice areas are gonna be a good fit for this, but I think there's a number of them that actually are. And so that's how I've done kind of my validation of this idea that I've had, is that I have just regularly seen clients that have this need for a probate for simpler estates that don't qualify as a small estate, right? And so, but there's other ways you can validate it. You can do polls, you can do email lists, you can ask on social media, you can ask, clients like to see like, would they be interested in things like this? Would this be something that would serve their needs? If you're trying to figure out kind of what can I do, what legal service can I deliver in a digital space? And it's like, where do you see a big need in your practice where maybe it can be more automated, maybe it is a little bit more routine and doesn't require a full-blown lawyer? Again, I know there are areas where the person does need a full-blown attorney, and I still continue to deliver one-on-one services. I'm not stopping that. It's I think there is a gap there that I can fill, and maybe you can fill as well in your practice. And so I'm going to deliver this product. It's going to be a course. It's going to be a delivery of videos that I've recorded, the forms that they need, kind of checklists, roadmaps as far as them navigating the probate process. Now, our courts already sell the forms to the public. If somebody wants to do it pro se, they sell them a packet of the forms, but then the person's kind of on their own. So I don't see this as me necessarily selling the forms. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm selling is the roadmap, is the guidance through the video recordings and the roadmaps and things like that. And so mine is going to be about 3, I think, modules where you're preparing to open probate, you are administering the probate, and then you're ready to close the probate. There's going to be like the 3 phases of what I guess you call them modules in the course of the probate course that I'm creating. And then each module is going to have lessons, probably like 4 to 6 lessons per module. So in opening the probate, I'm going to have 4 to 6 modules. And how to administer a probate is going to be about 4 to 6 modules, maybe a few more. We'll kind of see how that irons out. And then in closing the probate, there's also going to be probably 4 to 6 modules. And I think I'm going to do an add-on, like if they want to pre-purchase like a 1-hour consult with me, or maybe 2 separate 1-hour appointments with me to be able to kind of ask those questions. I might integrate that as an add-on. I'm not sure yet. Like, I'm taking you along as I'm figuring this out and building this out. And it's not going to be perfect the first time I create it. Like, I'm going to have to create it and then probably go back, do revisions as clients use it and navigate through it. But that's the direction that I'm going with what my course is going to look like. And so if you wanted to do a course as well, I'd probably recommend something along those same lines. I would say each video I'm going to create for each lesson is probably not going to be more than 10 or 15 minutes. I don't think clients want a 45-minute video. So that's why I'm going to break it up into multiple videos for each module. So it's not like one really long video, and probably give them access for like a year or maybe 18 months from when they purchase it. So I have created courses before, but I have only done so for lawyers, primarily for law firm owners on different aspects of law firm ownership. So I am familiar with how to create a course. I use Kajabi for my platform, but there's a lot of other options. I know there's like Teachable, I think, is one. There's a few different options. I like Kajabi. It's a very clean, like, just aesthetic and how it looks and how it works. I really like it. So that's what I'm going to use. But there's a number of options because it's not the cheapest option, but it's a really good product. So if you're looking into that as an option, just know there's other options aside from Kajabi as far as how to create your online course. When I record them, I'm going to do it just on my camera as I am now, but you could do it even on Zoom and just record your videos. Or I use Loom internally in my firm for like recording instructions on how to do things in my firm. So you can use Loom. I mean, there's so many options as far as how to record the content. I do think there has to be some form of video or audio deliverable with the course. It can't just be the forms, the templates, and the roadmaps. Like, I think there needs to be, like, for that added value from it coming from an attorney, I do think there should be some kind of deliverable by way of video or audio content for the customer to consume. And so, of course, there are different disclaimers you're going to need to have. Each state's probably going to be different based on where you're licensed as far as what disclaimers you need to have. And I will not be giving, because this is pre-recorded, right? This is not specific legal advice as to their particular facts in their case, but it's going to be kind of navigating the probate process kind of overall and how to do so. And that's why I'm thinking about adding on the options to prepay for 1 or 2 hours of attorney time to kind of get those specific questions answered or to help them. And so, again, I'm ironing all these details out. The course has not been created yet. So where am I in my course creation journey for this probate course? We are working on the outline right now. And so we are outlining for each module what lessons are going to be included in each module and listing out what documents, what templates need to be included for each lesson. So that's what I'm mapping out right now. My goal is to have that, like the first round of that done in the next 2 weeks. And then probably about 2 or 3 weeks after that, having the second round and kind of final version done. And then the month of August, it's July right now, the month of August will be creating all those templates, all those forms, all the roadmaps, all the different just kind of guides and manuals. And we're going to do all that in Canva. I really like Canva. So we use Canva for creating like my welcome packet and things like that. So, and it makes it really like nice looking and professional looking. So we're going to use Canva for that. When I say we, I mean me and my paralegal. Like, we're working on this together. And then the month of September, I have completely blocked out my law firm. I'm taking no appointments in the month of September. There'll be no consults, no signing appointments, because September, I am just recording all of the videos in September. And so that's going to impact my firm and that I won't have a lot of like new clients coming in, but I have so much like pending right now, especially with my estate plans. Like, the clients pay half down and half at signing. And so I won't be doing signings during September, but there'll still be revenue coming into the firm. It just seems to work out that way, even if I don't take appointments. There's clients I had prior appointments with who maybe haven't hired yet, who will be hiring, people who reach out to me, whether they're referred to me or past clients who want to hire us to do work without needing a consult. And so there'll still be revenue coming into the firm. The revenue for September will probably be a little bit slower, but that's okay. Like, I know that going into it, and I really want to get all my videos done. So September, I'll record all the videos, and then October, we'll start uploading everything into Kajabi and getting everything lined up with all the videos, all the documents, all the templates, all the roadmaps, the checklists, all the things, and getting all that uploaded into Kajabi, along with like all the thumbnail images, right, and descriptions of the modules and the lessons. And then, so October, we'll iron all that out. We'll start testing it ourselves to kind of go through it, make sure it works, make sure all the links work and all the buttons work. And then my goal is to have this launched and open November 10th. I think that's a Monday. I'm pretty sure. So November 10th is kind of like my launch date for this probate product. I've been thinking about doing this for maybe a good year, and I just haven't taken a lot of action to making it actually happen. And so now, like, I had decided, like, I'm gonna stop sitting on this. I think this is an amazing idea. I think it could be a great addition to my law firm, and so we are getting it done. So November 10th is my launch date, and so between now and then, I'll kind of keep you in a loop as far as how it's unfolding, the progress, kind of my obstacles or roadblocks I've hit, and kind of working through those and building this out. So I will keep you along for the ride as we navigate through that course creation, especially if you are interested in doing that in your own law firm. And maybe even just beside creating courses, like you may find that maybe creating, a workshop and selling that on Evergreen, or maybe, especially for, I think, small business attorneys, like doing some kind of subscription product for your small business owners is a great model for business attorneys, I have found. And so there's a lot of options to think outside the box from just delivering one-on-one legal services. So I encourage you to look into it, and I'll keep you in a loop as I progress forward along on this journey to creating this probate course. And so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.